Michigan. When you think of it, you probably picture a giant mitten or maybe the heart of the American auto industry. But the real story, its core identity, is written in water. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how the Great Lakes forged a state that's truly unlike any other. You know, when you look at a map of the US, Michigan just pops out, right? It's the only state in the country that's split into two massive peninsulas. So you gotta wonder, how did this totally unique geography shape its destiny as a powerhouse of American history and industry? Well, the answer really starts with one thing: water. Michigan is just surrounded by it. 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, that's Superior, Michigan, Huron, and Erie, make up its borders, and that has shaped absolutely everything about its history, its culture, and its economy. And all that water adds up to, get this, over 3,000 miles of coastline. Just let that sink in. It's the longest freshwater coastline anywhere in the entire world. Yep, longer than the saltwater coasts of states like California or Florida. That is an incredible amount of waterfront. All right, so to really get the full picture of Michigan, we're going to look at 5 key parts of its story. We'll kick things off with its identity as the Great Lakes state, then see how it was forged by 3 different nations, discover its role as the engine of America, look at the dynamic between its two halves, and finally, we'll consider its path forward. So let's dive right in with that defining feature, the Great Lakes state. It's not just some catchy nickname, you know? It really gets to the very core of Michigan's identity. Because the water, well, it's just everywhere. And get this, even the state's name is all about the water. Michigan actually comes from the Ojibwe word mishigamaa, which literally means large water or large lake. So right from the very beginning, this place was defined by those massive lakes that surround it. And that connection to water goes so much deeper. I mean, just look at these numbers: 2 peninsulas, 4 Great Lakes, and almost 65,000 inland lakes and ponds. But what does that actually mean for life there? It means you are never far from water. Seriously, no matter where you're standing in Michigan, you're at most 6 miles from a lake or a river, and never more than a short drive from a Great Lakes shoreline. Water is just a constant presence. So let's switch gears a bit and see how this unique geography influenced its history. Because Michigan wasn't just shaped by water, it was literally forged by the ambitions of Native American tribes and then 2 massive European empires, all fighting for control. For centuries, this was the homeland of native tribes like the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi. Then, the European powers showed up. The French arrived first back in the 1620s looking for wealth from the fur trade, but by 1763, after the French and Indian War, the British took over. It wasn't until after the American Revolution that the region finally became part of the United States, and Michigan officially became the 26th state in 1837. And these 2 maps, they show that shift perfectly. On the left, you've got a French map from 1718 claiming the whole area for New France. Then, just a few decades later, the map on the right shows that same land completely absorbed into the British province of Quebec. This wasn't just changing lines on a map. This was a geopolitical earthquake that would help decide the future of North America. And that future, it would be industrial. After becoming a state, Michigan's massive natural resources and its perfect location would transform it into a national powerhouse, the true engine of America. It all started with lumber. From about the 1850s to the 1880s, Michigan led the entire nation in timber production. Its huge forests of white pine literally helped build the growing cities all across the Midwest. But then came the industry that would define Michigan for the next 100 years, the automobile. The state became the undisputed global center of car manufacturing, home to the big 3 American automakers. This industrial power really peaked during World War II. Factories like Ford's Willow Run, which you're looking at right here, were building B-24 bombers at a rate that was just unbelievable. All told, Michigan produced nearly 11% of all U.S. military equipment during the war. That's more than any state except New York. And you can still see that legacy shaping the state's skyline and its economy today. This is the GM Renaissance Center in Detroit, a powerful symbol of the auto industry's enduring presence right in the heart of Michigan's largest city. But to really understand Michigan, you have to look inside its borders. The state isn't just one unified landmass. It's a tale of 2 very, very different peninsulas. It really is a tale of 2 different places. The Lower Peninsula, the one famously shaped like a mitten, is the center of industry and where the vast majority of the population lives. Then there's the Upper Peninsula, or the UP, which is sparsely populated with an economy that's all about tourism and its incredible natural resources. This beautiful view of Mackinac Island, sitting right there between the two peninsulas, really captures the essence of what drives the UP's economy. This natural beauty fuels a massive tourism industry, bringing in about $17 billion to the state every year. So where does all this leave Michigan today? Well, the state finds itself at a critical crossroads, trying to navigate a shifting economic landscape while holding a really pivotal role in national politics. From the state capital in Lansing, leaders are trying to chart a course for Michigan's future, and that future is getting more and more complex, both politically and economically. Politically, Michigan has become a key swing state. As you can see from this map of the 2016 election, the state is a patchwork of deep blue and deep red counties, and it's usually the suburban areas that end up deciding these razor-thin statewide elections. This makes it an absolutely crucial battleground in determining the country's political direction. And economically, Michigan is working hard to diversify beyond its automotive roots. It's now a leader in research and development, thanks in large part to its major universities. It's also an agricultural powerhouse, a leading grower of fruits like cherries and blueberries, all while maintaining that powerful tourism industry we mentioned earlier. So, what's the big takeaway here? I think it's best summed up by the state motto: if you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. It just speaks to a deep pride in the state's natural beauty and the opportunities it has provided for centuries. Which leaves us with a final thought. For over 200 years, Michigan has been shaped by water and defined by industry. The big question now is this: in an era of incredible technological change and political uncertainty, what will be the next great force to drive its transformation?